determine what you want to do with all of that. So if you want to be the one that should try to make the most amount of money, go ahead and be the capitalist pig that you are.
That's me.
If you would like to be the one that has like maybe the most authentic lineup, then you can go that route. You can go whatever route you want. Just explain it before you hit into it.
That's perfect.
Church Jams now.
All right, today
Welcome
we've
to
got
Church Jams Now. Oh, sorry.
Wrong
Sorry, what?
podcast, Kylan.
Sorry. Oh, what?
Yeah, it does kind of feel like who's gonna take this over? Whose
Worlds
podcast is it right now?
No,
collide.
Whose dad owns all the boats right now?
Whose dad owns all the boats? That's right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Not
So
mine.
today, this is technically the BlackSheep Podcast, but if you want to, think of this as the Church Jams Now podcast, then you can certainly think of that. It probably would get more listeners if that's what you were expecting this podcast to be. But
This
Maybe.
is the Black Church Sheep.
The black.
the Black
Church
Church,
That's it.
the Black
Said 5
Church
white
Sheep. All
guys.
right.
Yep.
We'll get a few hallelujahs and amens and pipe organs, or
And
the Hammond B3.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we hand
yeah.
out jam at the end.
There we
Strawberry.
go. All right. Well, that's a long enough intro. We've got Kylan, Josh, TJ with us, and we're gonna do a kind of draft episode, but not really a draft exactly. Kind of a draft, kind of not. But we're gonna do an episode where we've been wanting to do this for a while. So in the past, if you have been a listener, all two of you in the world, you know that we like doing these little fantasy draft episodes where we kind of like center around a theme, and then we kind of pick bands from different categories. And it's a great time to sort of be nostalgic and, pick our favorite bands and then argue like we always do. So what we're going to do today is we're going to pick bands that we think will make the best show you've ever been to. Okay. So we're going to pick the opening band. We're going to pick a couple other bands that are going to be sort of before the headliner. And then obviously we'll pick the headlining band as well. So we're going to try to curate the best live experience, at least from what either we think might be the best live experience, or maybe you as a listener, we think, oh, this is what you would want to see a show to be in the world. So that's what we're going to do. It's sort of like a fantasy show episode is basically probably how we want to bill it, right?
Love it.
Fantasy concert episode. So with that said, we're going to do kind of traditional round by round and then pick by pick kind of basis. So Cullen is about to give us the spinning wheel of death, and we're going to figure out our fate of our order. So let's see it, Cullen.
Right. And
roll.
our first picker is going to be Josh.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Literally setting the stage, if you will.
Number 2 will be, drum roll please, waiting for the ticker here, is Kylan.
Wow.
Hell yeah. It's a Church Jams Now episode now.
We got the numbers on this episode.
Next, it is
It can't be TJ. Please don't let it be TJ.
Just Barely Mason.
Just barely.
Just barely. Mason.
Is that my nickname now? Just barely?
That's a T-shirt right there, right? Just barely.
Just
Mason.
barely. Mason,
Just-
just barely Meninga.
That sounds like a 90s band for some reason.
Just
Yeah, it
barely.
really does.
And Just Barely Me. So, by order of deduction, last we have
TJ is
Bringing up
last.
the rear.
But guys,
right.
Honored to do so.
I can almost guarantee you, having done about 100 episodes with TJ, that there's going to be no problem with him going last.
Well,
It's
I'm
gonna
sure
be
it won't
something.
be. Plus, he gets to pick twice right away.
Mm.
So he gets to pick the first of the second category. So
Love it.
works out for him.
Yeah.
Well, so one of the things that came up as we were talking, because obviously we don't prepare much for episodes like this, because we're not that kind of podcast, is like, how are we basing our draft picks? Like, are we wanting to pick based on our own like personal favorite bands that fit each one of these categories? Do we want to pick based on what we think will sell tickets? Do we want to base it out of like what we think might fit the best sort of theme? So it sounds like we're kind of wanting to just like leave that up for each picker to figure that out for themselves, right? So if you're a listener and you're like, why are they picking the way, like, like in the NFL, right? People pick players based on trying to win the game. Like that's how you pick a player. But this doesn't necessarily mean we're trying to win or make most money, or even necessarily our personal favorite. It can be any of those combinations.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well,
kind of blind.
TJ, right? Or sorry, not TJ.
Josh.
You're
It's
last.
me.
Josh is
last.
first, right? So without
It's
further ado,
me, yeah.
so this first round is high energy opening bands. So these are kind of the bands where it's like, a lot of people are maybe like starting to pour in, but maybe not quite. The venue isn't full yet, and you got to get a band in there that like people are going to be like, whoa, like I was not expecting that. And so let's hear what your high energy band is. So first round.
All right. Well, do you want to kind of hear what I'm going in with this to make
Yes.
a lot of
Yeah,
money?
let's hear
Like
it.
my strategy.
You
All right,
capitalist pig.
I'm just butts and seats, man, getting those dollar bills. I went for this is a very selfish festival where this is just all bands that I want to see, and most of them that I haven't seen or in certain capacities before. So I don't know if it's going to sell a lot of tickets, but it's going to be a great show for me. And it's very much steeped in definitely what we've been covering and talking about in Church Jams now for some of the recent episodes, so that you'll see some themes there. But for my high energy opener, I am picking The Wedding.
Oh,
hell
yeah.
The Wedding.
The
Okay.
Wedding. And
Hell
I have a
yeah.
twist, though. I want Kevin Keane
You want
and
Kevin?
Matt Shelton
Yes.
singing. I'm having
Oh, you
both
want
of them
both.
so they dual can do vocals. Dual vocals. The other one's singing BGVs so they can like trade off. So they're playing anything from their whole catalog. It's all on the table. And then maybe we'll have Abishai on drums just for fun too. But I think they would be a great high energy opener.
I love that. So one thing that we forgot to mention off the top of the episode is that everyone is trying to break down everyone else's picks. So the idea we do this for all of our drafts, but we forgot to mention it because we just imagine it's a given. That's Mason and I's fault. We want to dog on Joshua now. We want to try to tell him why he's wrong.
Try it.
And I'll
good
start off. I've
Okay.
seen The Wedding not once but twice. And both times I did not feel the high energy.
When were
Well,
you seeing them, though, is what I
right.
want to know.
Did you
I
see
saw
him
one time at a
in the-
festival outdoors.
In
This
in
was-
the Kevin era or the Matt era in
Both.
terms of okay.
Oh, okay.
One in each. So I don't know. Mason,
I don't know,
you
well-
were you there at the wedding, Mason? When
When they played at Lifelight.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only so here's my argument against The Wedding. I think they were a fine band.
Yeah.
My only argument was they were the kind of band when I would go to Lifelight where typically when I would go to Lifelight, and Lifelight, if you guys don't know, was this massive Christian music festival. Like it was a free festival, so like everybody and their dog was there.
Where was it based,
and-
Mason?
What's that?
Where
Sioux
was it?
Falls, South Dakota.
Got it.
So they would typically get maybe like 300,000 total people over the 3-day weekend.
Almost half the size of our state.
Yeah, basically the state like grew in 50% of population that weekend. So anyway, here's my deal with The Wedding. I thought they threw a fine live show. It was fine. But at Lifelight, there were bands that were like, the edgy, like kind of teenage angst kind of bands. And then everybody else was sort of like CCM, like big pop hit kind of bands like Newsboys or whatever, right?
Right.
And The Wedding played obviously the teen angst stage or whatever. And the only time my dad would go over to the teen angst stage was when The Wedding would play. And so that's
okay,
my
this is
only
pretty
argument
good.
is like when I think of like high energy opening band, if my dad is moving over to go to see you guys play, like clearly it's not high energy enough.
Clearly,
uniting the
Mason,
generations.
Your dad has
Yeah.
great taste.
I
That's
have a
that's my
rebuttal.
takeaway.
Well,
His favorite
I have
band
a
is George
rebuttal.
Thorogood. I don't think so.
So on multiple the wedding interviews and episodes that we have done, we have talked about how they are fake heavy.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a good point.
Yep. They
And
claim that for
and
themselves.
they
That's a
have addressed that
labeled.
themselves. They have said we are definitely a fake heavy band.
Yep.
Remember that like genre? Maybe it's still a thing, but easy core. Remember that being like a thing?
Oh yeah.
They sort of feel like
Yeah.
they would have maybe like fit well within easy
Right.
core.
Yep.
Well, I first saw them play at Big Church at my church. So the wedding was like
Wait,
a
that's the name
local
of your,
band.
that's the name of your church is Big Church?
No, it was you had youth group, and then you had Big Church
Big
on
Church.
Sunday, and they were the one band that our pastor was like, "Oh yeah, they should come on stage and play one of their songs."
I don't think you're helping Josh's case here.
No,
If-
no, listen,
More legit.
listen,
It's even
listen,
more legit now.
Mason, we need more people like your dad to come see the wedding. Because then they may stick around for the second band.
That's true.
I'm
That's true.
here. I'm here for the fake heavy, man.
Hey, I'm also a dad though, so that appeals to me now.
Yeah,
at
and
this point in my
from-
life, you know.
Josh, you were very clear that your goal is butts in seats, and so the kids
Yeah.
will stick around if the parents are there, vice versa.
True.
Keep it all in the family. So there's an angle there
That makes
for,
sense.
for numbers.
Yeah, I do kind of understand it. It's like mom and dad are going to this festival. They're going to drop off, little Billy,
There you go.
and then they hear the wedding playing. And they're like, you know what? Maybe I'll stick around.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying
Not
to say?
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Fake
there
heavy
you
for
go.
I don't
mom and
know.
dad.
Yeah, you
I think
know,
that's
you got
smart,
to ease them
Josh.
into it. Yeah,
you're just playing 4D chess. I love it.
That's
That's
it,
right.
man.
you're
That's
right.
right.
You've done
Yep.
another level.
All right. Second was Kylan.
Oh man. Okay. I put for my first one, listener.
Oh,
If
cool.
you guys remember
awesome.
or know listener.
Hey,
Wow. I don't know how to
Uh,
argue against that one. All right, go ahead. Give us your why.
So my very first show that I ever played when I was 15 was opening for listener. And so I'm going to lean into Josh's argument a little bit. There was no one there at the show, but my dad was there, and after the fact he was like, that listener guy was pretty great. But having seen him a few times, I think he brings like a really aggressive kind of like punk rock energy, but with like acoustic guitars and trumpet.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
And bare feet.
yeah, for people that aren't like fully ready to jump into like Me Without You, they're like, okay, I can kind of get this. It's like weird, loud poetry,
Sure.
and I think that can potentially bring a lot of people. Plus, he's just fucking great live. He's just
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. First time Mason and I saw him, he was playing a washing machine. I mean, there was the washing machine.
Yes.
years.
Oh, the
Way
washing
early
machine
on.
era was like so
Yeah.
good. Oh, so good.
Yeah. Mason and I were sitting there like, what is going on?
What is this?
And at that time,
Yeah.
the Chariot was Mason and I's favorite band. And it was like 3 weeks later, all of a sudden, he's in the David De La Haas video. And we're like,
right.
Yeah.
that's that guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
He's
yeah.
everywhere.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
here's my argument. Not that you picked Listener and Dan Smith, because I think you should pick them. I think they're a great pick. But my argument against the pick is more so that you picked it in this round for like the high energy act. Because for me, I would probably, like, if it was my own like personal pick, I would have picked them in the next round, which is going to be the edgy band. Not because like Listener is like edgy lyrically or they've
But
done
it's-
anything like controversial.
They
Right.
or
kind of
anything.
are too, though.
But what they would be is like, especially like if you're gonna go like more, I don't know what the other bands you're gonna end up picking, but if you end up doing like some more like hardcore or punk or like or metal stuff, like
Right.
they do feel like Listener was one of those bands where yeah, they could tour with the Chariot, and they were kind of like, for Chariot fans, it was kind of like oh, like I get
What is this?
I get what is
Like,
going
yeah,
on,
yeah.
but also like this is so different than like the other music that maybe the Chariot would typically tour with.
Right.
And so they would feel like a better like edgy act. They're not going to be an act where like, again, when I'm thinking high energy, I'm thinking like mosh pits, people freaking out, like, even if they don't know the band, like they're going nuts.
Right.
And,
Mm.
Listener, it's one of those bands where especially if you're like in the wrong crowd, you're just probably like, what the hell is going on here? Even if you're like captivated by it, you're like, what is going on?
Right.
And I don't know if I want that as my high energy act. So that would be my
That's
argument
valid.
against
That's
picking
valid. I get that.
Listener in this particular spot. Not that you shouldn't pick Listener at all. You should, but just for this particular category.
Okay. All right.
I
valid
concur.
point.
We'll
Yeah.
we'll see how the rest of the lineup turns out.
Yeah, I'm
So,
kind of curious to
yep.
see where you're going to go with this.
I'm intrigued.
If
All right.
Listener is your opening band, that's going to be wild. Next is Mason.
All right. Well, you guys just gave me like a softball, I think. So my high energy act is a band that Cullen loves, a band I love. Maybe it's a band you guys love. But The Undertaking. I mean, they basically started off Furnace Fest this last year. And if you were not at that show at Furnace Fest, you like maybe I was not at half of it because I was trying to find a new shoe. But if you were not at that
Waiting
show,
for it.
you probably are going to be like, this is the best way for Furnace Fest to ever start. And again, it's one of those bands where even if you don't know who The Undertaking is, the fact that like Austin is like jumping out in the crowd and is basically playing half the show in the crowd, even if you don't know the music, you're just like, this is awesome. I'm like
Yeah.
so ready for even the rest of the music that's going to be happening after this. So I think the Undertaking is such a great high energy opening act right now, in any like kind of like punk hardcore metal music right now. Like it blows my mind that they're not like the opening band that's getting like on tours with all these other bands that we love right now, because they're just like such a perfect opening act. So that's going to be my pick. I don't know if you guys have any arguments against, but that's my argument.
Josh, TJ,
I think you're
Kylan.
going too high energy. I mean, I don't know how you follow it if you start with the Undertaking, right?
I don't think I don't think that you're wrong, Josh. I think it might just be a little bit too much of like a slap in the face. I think if you're
You're
if
definitely
you
clearing
are-
all the dads out with that band. They're like, all
100%.
right, I'll see you in a couple hours to pick you up. I'm
the
out.
New
guys."
Balances are down the block. That's
Yep.
for sure. Kylan, did you have anything to add to that
Uh,
conversation if you could hear it?
No, I could hear it all. Yeah, no, I fully agree with Josh. I think it might be a little like too much, right? Like you have to ease in just a little bit. Like I could see them like second build. But first, I don't know. All the dads are gone.
Well, then the category should have been medium energy opening band.
Yeah,
not
that's how you
high
typically
energy
open a
opening
show.
band.
Just
Touche.
medium. Yeah.
Touche. I wonder who came up with these descriptors for
Yeah.
this.
I did.
I like how that's your first argument, Cullen, and you were literally the one that made these categories.
Whoopsies.
The only thing we could complain about.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
I love
because
that.
it's basically a perfect pick. So we have to
Yeah.
be a little
Great, well-
bit nitpicky.
Right.
Here's my nitpick. Austin
Oh,
Visser always dresses like he's trying to be like in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Mm.
Just a
That's-
personal fashion
that the
choice.
worst
That's
thing
your
ever?
nitpick.
That's
Do we hate
I mean,
that?
No, it's not. But
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
He
I was just
doesn't dress like
getting a
those
vibe check.
homosexuals in showbread.
In showbread.
Oh. Okay.
I don't think
Got
you
it.
heard that. Did you hear that conversation earlier, TJ? I wasn't sure if you were here or not yet.
No, and the listeners definitely didn't because we weren't
Yeah, but
recording.
that's why it's so much
So that's
better.
fun inside baseball.
That makes
Yeah,
it so much more
yeah.
fun. Yeah. All right, it is my turn next. So I think that your opener needs to be as high energy as possible, as you can tell from my previous argument against Mason. So I am picking. Oh yeah, I should also mention that my theme for this festival or this billing is bands that were Christian but are no longer necessarily Christian.
Ooh, okay.
And so my opening.
So they're not an
band-
atheist band, they're just atheists in a band.
Yeah, or they're AC or they're
Important
atheist
distinction.
adjacent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Family Force 5 is my first pick.
Okay.
Actually, I was sort of
because-
thinking about them before too.
I think that gets the younger crowd in, you know.
Okay.
Maybe mom and dad are dropping off the kids, but they're like, hey, you know what? There's some catchy stuff over there, and that's not super offensive. I mean, it's not like The Undertaking
They're
necessarily.
just country gentlemen, right?
They're just country gentlemen. Yeah.
With a K.
With
I
the
think
K.
it's a good way to start off. I wish it was if it was my ideal, this would start off at like 9 p.m., like right when the sun's going down. The energy starts building up, you know.
Right.
It starts cooling off a little bit in the middle of the summer. Yeah, I think it'd be a fun time. I'm not like the biggest Family Force 5 fan, but I would love to see them live again, that's for sure.
No, they're a great show.
Yeah.
Well,
Having a
also,
real good
Colin,
time.
you like totally fucked me on a later.
I kind of figured so. I did have them in two different
Ah.
categories. I'm not gonna lie, just in case.
Ah,
But
you messed up my whole list. Yeah.
that's good.
So
I
I don't
agree.
have any arguments against Family Force 5 right now, other than the fact that like they did get kind of big. So the fact that they're like an opening band, I'm like, how do you
This is-
like other bands?
I got
you have
only
that-
killers on my list here. All right. So-
Okay. Well, so that's one of my arguments. But the other argument that I may have, but I don't know your other picks, is the fact that I'm like, how are they going to fit with all of your other bands? Like they are like high energy. You're totally right. Like they do
Yeah.
fit that billing, but how are they going to fit with the other picks? It will be interesting to see.
yeah, it will be.
Mm.
Any other arguments against?
No, I'm just mad. It's a good pick.
Can I
Yeah,
also
this-
just say, so I don't think Family Force 5 has done anything for like a decade now, but
it's been
they
a-
are very fortunate that they went by nicknames, and pretty much probably no one that knows of Family Force 5s knows their real names, because
Right.
like could you imagine like trying to like get a real job interview right now, and your job is like gonna do like a little background check or whatever, and they just type in your name or whatever, and you're like cleared by Google on that because they didn't go by their actual real names when they were in Family Force 5, because
Yeah,
that's
you would never
way
be able to
better.
get any legitimate job.
Right.
That's
you
way
were-
better than the member
a
that was
real-
named Fatty. I would much prefer be going by my real name than Fatty.
Right. That's a real dad argument, and I love
That
it.
is. That is. What are you gonna have? Tattoos too, or what? My biggest thing about Family Force 5 is that their name sucks.
Mm.
I like
It's got
I would-
alliteration, and that's about it. You
Yeah.
I
know?
would just be super embarrassed to say that. Oh yeah, what are you listening to? I'm listening to Family Force 5.
Right.
Ugh.
Well, the thing is like when you shorten it, right? FF5, there is always the confusion between like 5 Iron Frenzy and Family Force 5.
True.
Um,
It's a good point.
Is there always that confusion? I've never made that
Oh,
confusion. in
I
my
would-
life.
oh
was
no,
gonna
that's
say-
been my whole life.
The
But
confusion is there until you listen to either, in which case you then realize, oh no.
They're
they
the
are-
exact same.
they're the same
Yeah.
band.
Yep. Got it.
All
Here's
right.
what here's the other thing I'll mention, just and then we can move on. But
Sure.
there are few Christian bands that I would legitimately say likely started a genre of music. I've made this argument before that I think POD has a legitimate claim to be made that they invented new metal,
Mm.
Right.
because they released music before Korn ever did. So I think POD has a legitimate argument to be made there. And the other band, the other Christian band that has maybe a legitimate claim that they invented a genre is Family Force 5 with Crunkcore.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
true.
any other
That's
band
true.
before, because they were before like was it 303 or whatever, and
Broken
Yeah.
Side and
yeah, I mean
Yeah.
they were probably the first kind of crunkcore band, and then all of a sudden crunkcore like became popular for like a year or two in
About
the late
6 months.
2000s.
Yep.
Yeah, and Family Force 5 can probably lay claim to the fact that they were, at least if they didn't invent it, they at least were the probably most popular band, at least
Poster
initially.
child.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
So
good point. That's a good point.
Touche.
Thank you,
All
Mason.
yeah,
right.
POD and Family Force 5, the same kind of band.
Pioneers.
TJ, you're rounding us out, man, for the
All right.
first category of high energy opener.
Okay, sounds good. Well,
Oh God, I just have to clarify the positions and statements made by individuals on this show are not indicative of Church James Now as a whole.
We'll see, man. We'll see.
I'm so curious to see where this is gonna go. All right.
So, all right. So, I'm just gonna give a couple disclaimers up top.
There it is. There it is.
So TJ Fest will be an embodied experience. It's gonna be a comprehensive, artistic,
Holistic.
yes, experience, and there is no logic. There's no argument that can either create or destroy TJ Fest. TJ Fest simply is, and it is fully.
Are there hallucinogens?
There may or may not be. No
This
one
sounds
knows.
very similar to what do they call it for the Juggalos? Is it just Juggalo Fest or whatever?
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I can picture right
Hey,
The
now.
gathering.
This is the music
The
format.
gathering.
That's it.
Gathering
yeah.
of the
If you-
Juggalos.
If you want to picture something that is adjacent to that, feel free. We'll see as we go through the episode here if it feels
Mason and Cullen,
accurate.
welcome to Church Jams now.
I cannot wait to get my milk jugs of PCP. All right, let's hit it.
So, one thing that Kylan has said a number of times is that I take exception or that I break things
He hates it.
articulately.
He hates this.
I try to do that as often as possible now because I just feel like I need to live up to that expectation. So this is no exception. Picture, if you will, a field of corn. It's not Cornerstone, but it's Cornerstone adjacent. All right, are we all tracking?
Sounds
Yeah, it's TJ Fest. Of course,
It's
it's
TJ
Cornerstone
Fest.
adjacent.
Yeah.
Exactly, you got it. So
Now it's called audio feed.
close, very close. There are other sensory experiences. Otherwise, I would have taken the name audio feed. But there's some existential, spiritual components as well. So we'll get to that. You round the bend around a row of corn, and what do you see playing the main stage as high energy band number 1? It's As Cities Burn. But wait.
Oh,
But wait. They are not just playing. They are playing Come Now Sleep in its entirety with guest vocals from none other than Toby and Devin from Emory on Contact, Clouds, and Timothy. Only those 3 tracks. Then they do a 2-part encore. First half is featuring Simon G. and Christian Linskog of Blindside. They all play some tracks from the Great Depression and the Black Rose
Okay,
EP. And then the back half is
No,
featuring
now
Pat
you're just
McDonald
cheating.
of the classic
you're just
Rhyme,
cheating
and they do
everybody.
Bloodsucker Part
This
2
is cheating.
with him and TJ. Then they follow it up with 84 Sheepdog, Pirate Blues, Capo, featuring Jones Zeta, and So Long Forgotten vocals.
This is a long
Closing it
opening
out.
set.
Yeah,
with
no, you're
Gates,
fucking
with
everybody right
TJ.
now.
Is your
TJ
opening
Yeah,
set
Fest
by
knows
the way,
no
my
bounds.
opening band
TJ
is
Fest knows no
actually-
rules.
Your
I rest my
opening
case.
band is like 10 bands. in
It's
one.
every band.
Come on.
Deal with it. This is my fest. This is TJ Fest, not Mason's Fest.
Threw Christian
Josh
Linskog out
Fest.
just for this feature on the essays, and then you told him you can go back home.
Yeah,
Go back to
exactly.
Sweden. Yeah.
Yeah, go back to
Get back to
Sweden.
Sweden.
Go back to
great.
Stockholm.
Good job, buddy.
Sweden.
All we needed you for.
There it is.
Go ahead.
That's my high
Grab a
energy
fika break.
opening band.
It sounds like
So-
that's all that TJ Fest is able to afford too. It's just the
Yeah,
one band.
no
One.
doubt.
Well, the experience we provide at TJ Fest goes beyond simple fiat currency, Mason. So it's hard to explain, but
Oh my
Is it spiritual currency?
Crypto.
it is very spiritual. Oh, this
Spiritual
is a-
cryptocurrency.
There isn't a word for the kind of currency.
Wow, if
that-
this is your
TJ
opening band, I can't wait to see
Yeah.
what your headliners are.
I'm
I know.
already so mad at you for this.
Love you, buddy.
This is wild.
And wait, I want to clear something up. So once someone picks a band, is it like it's off for everyone else?
It's off the
Well,
table,
except
but
for TJ Fest, clearly.
yeah,
Okay,
I,
so we're all
there are
booking
no
our
rules.
our festivals on the same day. So if we book a band, they're
Right.
not available to play TJ Fest or somewhere.
But-
okay.
So
well, you see, but
you
here's
are
the
not
deal.
able to
like
pick As
half-
Cities Burn. You're not able
or
to pick
Classic
As Cities
Crime,
Burn.
or Emory, or Blindside.
No,
all
they're-
all featurings are totally still
Okay, they can still
up
make it
for
between the
grabs.
Yeah,
festivals.
those bands
Okay, cool.
haven't played.
you
They
see,
just had some featured guest vocals.
Okay, cool.
my festival's right across the road, so
Nice.
But
Good, because I know Blindside's going to that one.
TJ
Yeah,
Fest,
I wish.
I imagine TJ Fest is happening on December 25th in a cornfield in Illinois.
Sure. I was picturing summer, but hey, maybe at
Well,
TJ
I know
Fest,
you
it's
were,
summer
but
on December 25th.
Okay. Okay.
No rules, man. Just right. Outback.
Honestly, a winter festival, outdoor festival, actually sounds kind of fun.
Well,
We can tell who the South
let's
Dakotan
see
is.
here. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Do it on a lake. That'd be cool. Frozen lake.
Guys, can I also I want to potentially throw another wrench into this. But I don't think anyone's gonna pick these bands. I also made another list of the potentially worst festival of all time.
like it.
So can I, before we move on to round 2, can I throw out my number 1 high energy opener for that?
For the worst
For the
festival?
worst
Yes.
festival? Yeah,
For
let's
the
hear it.
worst.
We need that.
Chris Rice.
I don't even know who that is.
Yep.
Cartoon song, and that's about it.
Yeah, the cartoon song and
Cartoon song.
and pedophilia.
And allegations.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you're in the
Yeah,
mood
yeah.
for
What?
both.
Yes, this is. Wait, you don't know about this?
Why? Yeah, I don't think I know the name Chris Rice at all. I'm
Chris
looking at
Rice,
his Wikipedia page.
the
You know
cartoon,
the cartoon song
What if
guy?
cartoons got saved?
Got saved.
I don't even know
Oh,
who that is.
oh.
What
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was Chris Rice.
That's that guy.
Yeah. So he would be my opener for the worst Christian music festival of all time. And
Strong
we'll,
start.
we'll see where that ends up by the end of it.
Why is that not your edgy act?
Oh, you'll see.
Oh, God.
You'll
Oh, no.
see.
Oh no.
All right.
The good news is it's time for TJ Fest again.
All right, TJ Fest.
All right, TJ
part
Fest.
2. This category is the edgy band,
Mm.
not to be confused with the edging band.
That's
Yeah,
Chris
so
Rice.
not
Not even gonna touch that.
No.
I hope you don't. Keep
yeah.
your hands to yourself, sir.
Oh, I will. So, I'm going ahead and giving my full spiel here about my edgy band choice here.
Spiel your thing. Yep.
All right, here we go. Y'all are gonna just be twice as mad, I think, because again, whoa. Picture yourself. You've just seen a high energy set from As Cities Burn and Friends.
that
And-
opened up with Contact.
Lo and behold, what do you see on the next stage over for the edgy band? It's Me Without You
God
build.
damn it,
For the next show.
motherfucker.
But
This is coming.
before Me Without You can take the stage, the production crew realizes that Aaron is stuck in a dumpster behind the festival grounds, gathering half-eaten pizza crusts and sorting the compost, trash, and recycling because nobody else did it. And so it's going to be a while before they can play. So while we wait, fortunately, all the original members of Mute Math are in the crowd. They hop up. They play their entire self-titled album while the band coaxes Aaron out of the dumpster and gets him in the tour bus shower. Don't worry, it's all solar powered. They finally get everybody on stage for Me Without You. Aaron's all cleaned up and, mostly coherent. They play primarily from Brother, Sister, and Pale Horses and Untitled, but also all your favorite bangers from the other records with occasional support from the Salters and guest vocals here and there
You
sprinkled
can't
in
just pick
from
every
David
band.
Bazan.
You're just picking
Oh,
every
Bazan's there too?
band.
Yes, Bazan's there. For the
Sure, why not?
encore, surprise, Aaron is best buds with Michael Shepard of Love Drug, so they play a few Love Drug
my
songs
gosh.
too. And then they end the whole thing with torches together. We all hug.
Wow. Haley didn't make an appearance?
I
Oh,
know.
yeah, you
well,
forgot
she's-
her. She's
she's
the
a
only
little
one.
Is she on
busy.
tour or what?
She was a little busy.
Fuck you.
She
This
couldn't
sucks.
know it.
Yeah. Right? Okay, this is how I feel
TJ, practically, I want to know how long is this festival for these 4 bands that are billed?
15 days.
36 hours?
Time is a construct, buddy. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
But yeah, sure, it's a couple weeks.
The PCP is
A
flowing
couple
through
weeks.
his veins.
Yeah. Colin's got those gallon jugs.
All right, so you picked Me Without You. Great.
Yeah,
For your
so-
live edgy band.
Yeah.
So do we have to actually play by these rules? Because it feels kind of arbitrary and silly to be like, we all like Me Without You. We want them on our festival, but we can't all get them. Like, why? Why?
Because you
Because-
picked them first.
Because
I know,
there's
but
one me
why
without
are
you.
we using these weird rules? It seems so silly.
High
like,
stakes,
It's called
baby.
sports.
Yeah.
I've
know
never
what?
heard of those.
I kind of like you. You sound like a libertarian.
I'm a weirdo.
He's something.
Wow. Great.
Great. Well,
pick,
all
I
right.
guess,
Me
TJ.
Without You
Thanks.
for your live edgy band. Is argument to be made about why they fit the category of edgy?
Yeah, why are they edgy?
Have you met Aaron? The
Yes.
guy lives on the edge. He is
What,
the
saving the world is edgy to you?
Yeah, it
What are
is.
you talking
In
about?
2024, Colin? Yes.
I think
Yeah,
it's, I think it's
homesteading in
popular.
Idaho now.
Pretty edgy. Takes a lot of work.
I don't think I'd consider
gotta wake up
myself
and
edgy,
milk
and
the cow.
I'm out there saving the world, so I don't know.
Nice.
Guys, after this, I'm just fully leaning into my terrible festival because
You
no one's gonna
pivoted.
have the picks that I have.
I can't wait.
All right, so you did you already have Ass Cities Burn and Me Without You on the board for yourself or what? Oh,
On the board?
Did you?
Wait, who are you asking?
Oh,
Sorry, Kylan.
Kylan.
Did you have that? Like, were you ready to pick them? Is that why?
Yeah. They were totally. I had them planned. I had this
Oh,
all planned out, and then TJ Fest.
Well,
Look, man.
don't pick. Why did you pick the wedding as your first pick then?
Well,
that was
Josh had
me.
the wedding.
Or sorry, not the wedding.
yeah, listeners are going to be real weird without Me Without You to follow up.
No,
That's
no.
That's
true.
very true.
I didn't know these rules were in play whenever I picked my list. I wasn't trying to ruin y'all's lives.
Hey, I understand.
I wasn't aware it worked like that.
But now that
understand.
you are, I feel like you're enjoying it more.
Yeah, you can tell he is.
No comment.
I'm still confident in my pick.
All right,
so.
all right. Who's
Me too.
next? Who's
I
next?
am next. All right. My pick for the edgy band, bringing them out of retirement, bringing them out of prison as I lay dying.
That was what I was gonna pick.
God damn it! This is part of my worst festival.
I knew it.
They were my edgy band for the worst festival.
As soon as he said that, I was like, "Oh, as I lay dying is definitely gonna be in it," but it's in my festival. So, and it's not only gonna be as I lay dying, but also it's gonna be 35 other bands. No, just kidding. It is. It's also going to be. Oh my God! Now all of a sudden I just forgot the name of the band. What was his Terminator Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh,
band?
Austrian Death
Austrian
Machine.
Death Machine, yeah.
Mm.
Yep. So they're gonna do half a set as I lay dying and half a set as Austrian Death Machine, because that's edgy for sure.
It's
Yeah.
something for sure.
Yep, it is.
It's a whole lot of brutal. Is what it
It's a whole lot
Lot
of
of
double brutal. Yeah, and
So I have
yeah.
no arguments against this. They were going to be my pick for this category, so fortunately I have a backup. But it's a damn good pick, Colin.
Thank you.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
well, appreciate it. I thank you. Any other arguments other than the fact that I am picking an attempted murderer?
No, except that they were going to be my edgy band for the worst Christian music festival of all time.
It's just funny because I know how many people actually want to see As I Lay Dying play with Tim Lambesis again in that original form once again, where he's all
Yeah.
roided up. To me, it's just hilarious that they just don't care they tried killing his wife.
Right. That's so
did it.
weird.
Like, there's so many
Are they
people that are
not
like,
together?
"Oh, I
Weird.
could totally understand.
Oh
that.
yeah.
What is
Yeah,
wrong
let's
with
just
you?"
ignore that.
Right. For the music, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of shocked that there hasn't been like a Netflix documentary about that whole story.
Right. Yeah.
That's
There
It's great.
should
I mean,
point.
there's been like way less interesting stories that have turned into true crime Netflix
Yeah.
documentaries, and the fact that there hasn't been that for a guy who was in a very famous metal band,
Right.
it sort of blows my mind.
Yeah.
Guys, brain trust right here. Let's make that documentary.
I have no skills making documentaries.
Don't worry about it. You'll get an executive
You've got the
producer
passion.
credit.
That's all you need.
I'll do research. I can do that.
Perfect.
All right. Let's
Any
do it.
other any arguments against Cullen's pick other than the many convicted felons that won't be able to show up with that are friends with Tim?
Right.
No.
No.
Is there going to be
Other than
enough
that-
room to see them in the audience because everyone's going to be like doing bench presses, right, while it's happening? I don't. That's my only concern. Yeah.
They actually during Austrian Death Machine shows they used to have push-up contests on
Does he
stage.
sing
against
while
Tim
bench pressing?
Lambesis.
Yeah.
Got to get those.
Did you
gains,
guys know
bro.
that?
No.
That's
No.
but I also did know that. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know it as fact, but I just
Just
knew it
assumed.
as
Mhm.
my truth. Did you guys know that Austrian Death Machine also came out with a new album this year?
This year?
No.
Yes.
it
With
didn't?
Tim?
Yes. I don't know if
What?
Tim's involved, but it came out the end of February. It's called Quad Brutal.
That's real.
It
Yes.
claims he is still the lead singer of Austrian Death Machine, so
can we
it must
can
be
we
him.
give listeners a brief taste of what my edgy
yes.
band sounds like
They
here?
must have.
Yeah, with
like,
Napalm Records. I can't believe
my
Napalm
God.
signed them.
They
All
put
right,
like an
let me see.
interface, a laptop, and a microphone inside a cake, and they gave.
Can't
it to him.
believe this bid is still going in 2024. They're still committing to it.
All right, here's
He
track
hasn't been the
one.
governor
No
forever.
pain, no gain.
No pain, no gain.
No, it's a full album,
Oh my God.
10 songs.
It's somehow better than As I Lay Dying.
Yeah, it's better than I want it to be.
All
I
right.
know that.
Let's
You know,
move
there
on to
aren't too many
Kylan.
metal shows that you can go to these days that like the drug of choice by the crowd is steroids.
Anabolic
Right.
steroids. Yeah. Intravenous steroids. All right, Kylan, let's hear about shit.
Wait, I thought I was third.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Mason.
I was second.
Mason.
Yeah, I was thinking I'm pretty
My
sure I'm
bad.
like in the middle of all of them.
My bad. I looked at my list wrong.
All right, so
I might be a little drunk already. I'm not
for
gonna
my edgy band, I was going to pick As I Lay Dying, but fortunately, I feel like I have a fairly decent backup. And this is a band that sort of is clearly is not as edgy as a band that has an attempted murderer in the band. But for some people, if you're liberal enough, probably is just as bad. And this band is Project 86.
Okay.
What?
I
I'm
feel
so
so
disappointed
here-
right now.
So here's the reason why I think of them as an edgy band. So first off, there's probably a lot of people that like think Andrew Schwab from Project 86 is sort of like this like anti-vax person or whatever, which probably for a lot of liberals is just as bad as being an attempted murderer. And if you get like former bandmates, they probably also think of him as like an attempted murderer as well. And I say this with dear love to Andrew Schwab. He has been more than gracious on the BlackSheep podcast. He's been great to us. And
Beautiful.
also there clearly are people in the industry that aren't big fans of him. And I don't know what he thinks about those things, but he clearly is an edgy band to a lot of people, or to at least a good segment of people in the Christian music industry. So
Yeah, that's fair.
that's gonna be my edgy band. And also I think like following the undertaking, and you may have already you're probably starting to see a theme form.
This seems
I
a
think
lot like
following the
Furnace Fest last
undertaking,
year.
they're a great band. I mean, yeah, it's literally okay. So yeah,
It's
all right, you got me.
Bill from Furnace
2023,
Fest.
yeah, the 2023 Furnace Fest right here.
Kilbread's next. Same order,
Yeah,
same
right.
day, everything. The same.
But yeah, Project 86 is my live edgy act.
Interesting.
And
I just don't know
Mason.
how edgy they actually are.
Okay,
you know?
this was my argument because I also had Project 86 for my edgy band. And if I
What?
have, like, if you have to make it edgy, I was picking original lineup with Randy, Steve, and Alex. And you have the edginess is that, like, there's still beef between Andrew and the other guys. So they're like, the whole time on stage, they're
So
kind of like
everyone's really
side looks.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. So that was going to
That'd
be
be
my
kinda fun.
spin. But Man,
Josh is
yeah, I
good.
want original lineup project at my
Yeah.
at my fest.
You
but-
know,
Dang
Mason,
it,
I thought you
Mason.
were only picking them as your edgy band because you busted your head on the edge of a stage right after they played.
Nope. Just the anti-vaxxer.
Which they were in the running for my worst Christian music festival of all time.
Ooh, wow!
What?
Really?
But no, they didn't make it. They didn't make
Dare
it.
you?
That's
I
good.
know.
How dare you?
So that's my edgy act. I don't know if there's really too many arguments other than the fact that it's
No.
just not not as I lay dying.
Right.
Yeah, it isn't that. That's for sure. Otherwise, it seems like a solid choice. Obviously, 2 of 5 of us at least felt that way.
Yeah, that's
Right, Josh?
interesting. I wouldn't have even thought about it. That's I suppose it's a good call.
It's edgy for all the dads I'm bringing to my festival. You know.
Okay.
So
There you go.
yeah.
Here's the thing, Josh. I'm totally leaning into the dad festival.
Oh yeah.
vibes.
Dad Fest is on.
Well, speaking of
Right.
which,
That's it.
I think we should
Dad
have to
Fest.
name our festival at the end when we go back through and tell everyone what we picked, just to remind
Perfect.
them. All right.
Okay, so for me, my edgy band, I guess, yeah, if we're going with Dad Fest, Impending Doom.
There you go.
Okay,
For the
I get
same
it.
reasons
I get
as
it.
Mason,
Yeah.
or what?
It's sort of like MAGA core.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
They almost made the worst Christian music festival, but not quite. But the fact that they called their genre goreship, which is a portmanteau of gore and worship, it's just like, I mean,
It's
what
a little
what are
cringy.
you doing? Like,
That was also like
Okay.
2008 when they said that, I think.
right?
but-
Yeah, yeah.
It
they
sounds
also
like what
haven't-
Guar if Guar was trying to be like a worship band.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
If
So-
Guar and Ghost had a baby, it would be
yeah,
that.
worship.
goreship. Yeah. So I don't know if there's any arguments against Impending Doom as an edgy band.
I guess Brooke Reeves's politics aside, I don't know if they're really that edgy personally.
No, they're not. But
I mean, other than
But,
the
hey,
fact that
hey,
they kind of live in
listen,
like
listen.
this weird space, right? Like I get what you mean. Like they live in this weird space. There's not a lot of like doomcore or grindcore Christian bands.
okay,
right.
Colin, put yourself in these shoes. All
Okay.
right? You're wearing New Balances. You just
Always.
dropped your kid off. You're enjoying the pleasant sounds of Say Your Prayers by the wedding. And then you walk over and see listener banging on a washing machine. And then you hear Impending Doom and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Is that the washer still?
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody put their New Balance shoes in the washer.
Too many shoes in
Yeah.
a washer.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. You
that's
know
how you
what?
get Impending
Too many
Doom.
shoes in the washer is how I would describe Impending Doom.
Yep. there
That
you go.
sounds like the name of your festival.
I think so.
Too many shoes in the washer.
I mean, Impending Doom. I mean, they fit what with the theme that you're trying to do. So
Right. Right.
yeah, I get it. I get it.
Cool. All right.
I get it. I get
Let's
it as
keep it.
well.
And
All
I
right.
would think at least like politically that they're edgy enough where like enough people probably are like a little pissed off with them
Right.
for good or for bad. There are enough
Sure.
people pissed off with them, and I'm like, all right, they like at least fit the category of edgy. I do think like As I Lay Dying and Project 86 might like have pissed off more people than that, but I do think yeah they've pissed off enough people to be
Right.
a little bit considered edgy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they would piss off my dad. So that's sort of my criteria for
There's
that.
the argument.
There you go.
All right, Josh.
right.
We know
Then
you
mine?
like pivot tables. Have you had time enough to
I'm
pivot
pivoting. I've been
into a new edgy
been-
choice?
yeah, going back and forth. And the whole thing is so yeah, I didn't want to do this, but I mean, this might be someone's later pick, but I had to pivot myself, thus someone else might have to pivot.
There you go.
So, once again, I'm going with bands that I never saw that I would like to see. For edgy, I'm just gonna pick the one and only the Chariot.
Motherfucker!
I had
Fuck
to change.
you.
I had to pivot. Kylan's whole list is gone. Your whole fest. is
My
out.
whole list is fucked. I'm gonna pivot
Obliterated.
into it's just fucking Skillet.
It's just
and
worse. Yeah, it's
Newsboys
just-
at
yep,
this
yep.
point. Like
So yeah, that's what I had to do. So that's what I'm picking from edgy, and it changes up my festival dynamics a little bit, but it's
I mean,
Still
look,
Yeah, I don't
man,
think any
any-
dads are sticking around for the
no,
cherry.
they're not. They're not.
no, and
They're
look,
To
like-
get them.
any guy that's willing to stick his head in a kick drum while it's just being wailed on, that's a pretty edgy show.
That is, yeah.
Like his hearing is just decimated.
Or like to spit up a loogie as high as you can, and then to catch it in
Try
your
to catch
hand,
it,
and then wipe it on your face.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty.
And then become a
pretty edgy.
therapist 10 years later.
That's right. A very soft-spoken therapist.
Terror-
I almost said terrorist.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
whoa.
I mean, he is kind of a terrorist out there.
he's a terrorist for the woke, okay?
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Spreading that woke mind virus.
That's right.
Oh my god. This is off the
Gosh,
rails in
yeah,
the best
it
way.
is.
I love it.
All right, real quick before we move on, are you guys going to Furnace Fest this year?
We want to.
Please
Yeah,
do, because I
TBD.
think
Want
I
to.
think the five of us would have a absolute
Right.
blast.
Well, so
Fun.
we talked to Cody from the wedding, who also has Bad Luck Burger Club, and we
Yeah.
want to start an offshoot festival in the parking lot of Furnace Fest called
Right outside.
called Burgers and Bluegrass, where they just do bluegrass covers of the songs that the bands are performing.
And
on.
it's essentially Dad Fest Part 2.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
What we're talking about. Like, just another Dad Fest.
Yeah,
I am here for it.
yeah,
Yeah. I feel like it'd be a pretty good
Be a
time.
good time. Yeah.
yeah. We'll try to
I'll
make
bring
it
my,
happen.
I'll bring
We'll
my
see.
mandolin. I'm down.
There you go.
Hell yeah, man! If
Hell
you bring your
yeah.
mandolin, we'll be there.
All right, killer. I think I can fit it on the plane on my carry-on. All right, where are we at here?
Is it back to me again?
It is back
Do
to
I start
Josh
it? No.
again for
All
the
right,
next
all right.
category, which is best live act.
All right.
Which
well, I'm-
also, now that we're going back to you, like the fact that you picked the Chariot now, like when you picked the Chariot and you could have picked them for your best live act, like,
But you
I
can't.
thought
and you
about
had
it.
back-to-back
Yeah,
picks there,
yeah.
like total mistake. I'll just say that. Like, I don't know
Or-
what you were thinking.
or I mean,
I like your
they're-
Donald
they're
Trump
the
fingers there.
edgiest though
Yeah,
of the of like your live show. That's gonna be as edgy as it gets, but it flows pretty well if your next pick for best live act is Norma Jean, because then Scoggin can come out and sing with Corey
Mm.
and do some old school Norma Jean stuff. And let me tell you, Norma Jean these days is great live.
You know what?
So, I mean, pretty
Uh,
great, pretty great.
I think that you're onto something there, but I think what makes Norma Jean the best in terms of a live band is when Mason stage dives and 65 million people see it online.
When when he's
Yeah,
like
and I'm
jumping
not going to
20
be at your
feet.
fest, so good luck.
Ah, dang.
Okay,
Maybe
but
TJ
Josh,
can
this,
fly you
this
out
was also
this.
why,
Yeah, I got you.
like, the Chariot was gonna be my headliner, because then they could bring out Dan Smith to do David De La Haas.
Yep.
Mm.
I
know.
also had Me
I
Without
figured
You
at
on my
least
list,
two other
so
people would have
then-
the Chariot on their list for
Yeah,
this,
yeah, I definitely wanted it.
which we all
I had a
know
whole
if
thing planned.
Furnace
I had
Fest
a
could
whole
get the
thing
Chariot
planned.
together. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I had to pivot. I had to pivot myself.
That's
No one's
fine.
pivoting more than
I've-
Kylan though.
I have to pivot so much.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
you are a walking pivot.
Yeah.
We call that a moving screen in basketball. All right, Josh. I mean, awesome pick. Anyone got an argument against him before we move on?
No, it's so good.
Not bad
Solid.
for back-to-back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, a
I mean,
Chariot
yeah.
reference. Wow, awesome. I get it.
They faced each other. Ha. And Norma Jean's also got the deeper catalog, so they can play a little bit longer than the Chariot.
Yeah.
You know, so
True.
Makes
give
sense.
Scoggin
Makes
a little
sense.
bit of a break after his big fest. After his set, he can sit down for a little bit and drink a couple waters and then come out. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Hawk a couple loogies. Okay, is it me now? Best live act?
It is
You, baby.
Kylan for best live act.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pivot in a real I don't know. I can't do As Cities Burn, but you know what? Let's put Hawkboy up there.
Hey,
I thought
there
about
you
putting
go.
Hawkboy.
Nice one.
Yeah.
I thought
there you go.
about that.
You can't do As Cities Burn. Let's do Hawkboy. Whatever. It's
Technically
the
different
same.
band.
It's the same
Call.
band.
That's a
Pretty much.
great call.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
think those are the best songs that Cody Burnett has ever written.
1000%.
And every time I see Aaron Lunsford or Cody Burnett, I ask, what are the chances you bring back Hogboy?
Yeah. I mean, we did a whole. So we did last year, the beginning of the year, we did a whole As Cities Burn deep dive, and we dedicated a full episode just to Hawkboy. And it may be one of our least listened to episodes, but it's
The
one
most of all the As Cities Burn
but
ones,
it's one of my
surprisingly.
favorites. Yeah, because Hawkboy's fucking rad, dude.
Yeah, they're
So, yeah.
insane.
So if I can't have ACB, I'll take some Hawkboy.
Next best thing, yeah.
What's your favorite Hawkboy song? And why is it Damnesia?
Ooh.
Ooh,
Why is it Scoundrel?
I think it's
good.
Scoundrel.
It's good, but it ain't
Might be
Damnesia.
Scoundrel. I don't know. Well, we could argue this all night.
Folly.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
I don't know.
There's a lot to love.
Mason, you have to pick a different one now.
Yeah,
Yep,
Mason,
you
what's
have
yours?
to.
Well, so here's my argument against Hawkboy. As much as I love Hawkboy,
He's not jumping on the train. He's literally pushing against it.
I need an argument against. So here's the deal.
He's
So
Mr.
Josh
Incredible.
just picked Norma Jean, which has 9 albums that they can play from. Hawkboy has 9 songs
Right.
as the band before the headliner.
They
Yeah.
did.
So
But
There
you know
is
what?
precedent, though. They
Play
did
all 9
cover
songs.
irate blues, so they really can just pull from the ACB catalog.
great.
That's-
So they
that's
can pull
right.
from the ACB.
That's right.
Okay, whatever. But like they have like significantly less of a catalog to actually like pull from to actually play
Play it.
before a
lengthy
headlining
set.
band that could become, when we're like, I'm sure when we mention headlining bands here, we're going to think of like very big bands. And to think that they're going to be right before that headlining band for whoever you end up
Yeah,
picking
dude.
is blowing my mind that it's going to be Hawk.
Is it just the two guys too? They don't have any aux musicians
No,
up there.
it's just them.
Cody and
It's-
Aaron.
It's just
Just
Aaron
them.
and Cody. Okay.
Hey,
Yes.
you know what? We got washing machines on stage. We're just we're throwing it all to the wind, man.
So many
Like-
shoes.
It's a good pivot,
So many
Kylan.
shoes.
It's a good pivot.
Thank you.
You're creating a whole lineup with like 4 people that play the entire show.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm
the
here
economy of your festival.
Dude,
Kylan.
okay,
TJ,
but-
TJ booked
Fest.
everyone
The
else.
profit margins, nobody goes to it, but like the profit margins are
Yeah.
massive
Obscene.
because you don't have to pay
Right.
anybody anything.
for it. Right.
And half
But-
of them have their own food truck.
But guys, imagine a Hawkboy set with Dan Smith playing washing machine.
The dance.
Would you
go to that.
would you not?
No, that would
After
Is
the
Dan Smith
fact-
even aware that Hawkboy is a band that has existed in
Who
music
knows,
history?
man?
Probably not.
Does Dan Smith know anything that's going on in music now? It doesn't matter.
Hard to say.
It doesn't matter. He goes out and says, you're a house on fire, and then just fucking bangs on the washing machine in a field the rest of the night, and everyone's excited.
True.
Fair. All right, so
All
that's
right.
my argument against Hawkboy. All right,
It is your turn, Mason, for the best
live act. Well, since I can't pick the Chariot, great pick. But I would
Was that your original one?
obviously-
Okay.
I would have picked them. But I do think my pick is going to be a band that clearly is not nearly as like entertaining to watch as a live act, but throws a hell of a show. And I do think it will also get some ass in the seats, or
My-
asses standing.
My favorite
But-
thing about about your best live act that you haven't even said yet is that you already said it's not the best live act.
Well, it's not the Chariot. I mean, it's not the Chariot.
Right,
And
right.
I
I
can't
mean,
pick the Chariot. So
The
Okay, I
Chariot's
get what
the
you- I get
objective
it.
best
I get it.
pick. but-
Yeah,
it's the second. It's the second best live act.
I gave them an offer they couldn't refuse. So sorry.
And so this act is a band that Cullen literally, last time we saw them, was like, that guy screams like he's a literal demon.
Oh,
So
man.
I'm going to pick Zayo as my
there
best
you go.
live act.
Good.
And
Okay.
even though those guys are probably all in their 40s at this point, maybe,
Right.
I mean, maybe some of them are even pushing late 40s at this point. Those guys can still throw fucking down.
Terrifying.
They are absolutely incredible.
Are they bringing the
So,
electronic
Zayo.
drum kit for it or the regular drums?
regular drum.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, regular
Good to know.
drum.
Yeah, we're getting it. What is it, Jeff? Jeff
Yeah.
that drums? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna be Jeff doing his thing, and yeah, Zayo, best live act.
That's a good call.
I don't have any
Can't argue.
argument
Yep.
against that. It's solid.
Seems
Only
solid.
argument I have.
It's not
And
the
it's a
Chariot.
pretty-
I get it.
It's a pretty poor argument. There's not a ton of theatrics, right? I mean, I think we understand that. And I think that's my only argument against it is that there's just not a ton of theatrics, but the music is so like it like pierces into your brain. It gets into your like the absolute depths of your brain stem. It's that scary in my opinion, and I love it.
Yeah, the band themselves are not the theatrics, and I get that, but
Right, it's the
the
music.
what it does to their fans, especially those that are willing to get in the pit, that those are the theatrics. If you're the person like on the edge of the pit just watching what's going down in the pit, that's
That's the
an
show.
entertaining hour just in and of itself.
Right. I like it.
All right.
So-
Mason, I think it's a decent pick. I'm next. And I'm struggling to pick which one I want. I have two choices here. Remember, my festival used to be a Christian band or really doesn't sound like a Christian band anymore, kind of thing. I don't know which one to pick. I'm gonna go with Mute Math. I know TJ said
It
that
wasn't an
Mute
official
Math-
set, so
It's true.
it's fine.
They
just
had
had
time
to be-
before your set. They're like, we can go up and play a show.
Yeah,
Good deal.
Yeah.
Mute Math obviously has tons of exciting eccentricities that go on at their shows.
Incredible.
But I'm gonna pick the Darren King era,
Of
you have
course.
to.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah.
obviously.
I'd be mad
Um,
if you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. You know, from each musician themselves doing some wild stuff to riding around on a blow-up mattress
Mhm.
to the light show kind of things that they're doing. I think in terms of a live act, they provide something for everybody, and they have quite a bit of fun stuff going on. So, not quite headliner. They're just not. They don't draw those kind of numbers, and that's perfectly fine. They fit in well as a wonderful little sampler right before the headliner.
Totally agree.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm only going to compliment that. I think Paul could also probably pull Tyler Joseph from 21 Pilots for like a guest appearance on
Yeah.
one or two songs too, which would only increase your credibility. So
Very, very true.
Yeah.
That's very, very true.
It'd be a great feature.
it would be.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad that it's
Can you
unanimously
tell
a
me?
good
Can you
pick.
tell us afterwards who your other pick was? I want to know.
I will tell you afterwards who my other pick
Yeah,
was.
I want to know.
Next is TJ.
Got it. So again, TJ Fest operates by its own rules, and those rules are zany. But there is a little bit of a precedent for a band that is very well known spinning off into another band. We've been talking about the great Cody Bonnet, As Cities Burn, Hawkboy. They also sort of showcased My Only Passenger, which is a tentative upcoming project.
Yep.
So there's precedent for what I'm about to say here. That's my point. All right.
Okay.
The best live act at TJ Fest is Reliant Foot, which is exactly what you
Oh
think
my
it
God.
is.
Oh my
It's a
God.
Switchfoot and Reliant Case
No,
supergroup.
you can't. You
That's right. That's right. It's happening. In which they're all on stage together playing a set that is two lefts interwoven with The Beautiful Letdown, with guest vocal support from both Kevin and Matt Shelton from The Wedding, and Aaron Gillespie in a big dumb
he's
hipster
there
hat.
too.
A big dumb hipster hat. He's wearing a big dumb
Well,
hipster
he's
hat,
wearing
and
a
he's
he writes
singing-
country songs now, so he's wearing
Yeah,
a cowboy
exactly.
hat. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm so mad.
Does
at
Kirk
you.
Franklin show up too?
Yeah,
Not yet.
No one
That's
is not
later.
at this fest.
not yet.
That's later.
He's
Yeah.
part of the after party.
He's at
Yeah.
Mom Fest.
He would be at Mom
The
Fest.
rival
That's
of Dad
exactly
Fest.
right.
TJ, you break the rules in ways that infuriate me.
Yeah, this is quite infuriating.
I'm fairly
Right?
convinced TJ's just playing a different game.
No,
I'm
he
bringing the
always
chaotic
is.
neutral
He
energy, y'all.
always
That's what I
is.
do.
It's
It's
like
the
if you had
only-
it's like if you're like when you're a kid and you have a coloring book in front of you and you put the coloring book in front of the child and the child says, "Oh my gosh, I love SpongeBob," because SpongeBob's on the page. And then they color everything other than SpongeBob.
That's
Right.
it.
Oh my
am
God.
the
You
inverted
perfectly described TJ's energy as a
An inverted
podcaster.
SpongeBob. That's right. The only way you'll get me on mic. So I'm here to bring the chaotic neutral energy, y'all. You're welcome.
I mean,
You
I have
can't
seen
take-
both those
Fest.
bands.
Okay.
I've seen both those
okay.
bands tour together, so it's not much different than if they played
Thank
a
you, Josh.
set
Right,
together.
right.
So, I
And-
mean, I'll give it a little bit.
Okay.
Underline my argument for why they fit best live act. Both of those vocalists are like the most incredible vocalists. They're both the most incredible songwriters in their genre. So like, what do you got? What do
Yeah,
you got?
but also just fuck you, man.
yeah, that's fine.
Like-
That's fine.
All right, here's my argument against it. If I hear more than 2 John Foreman songs in a row, I have suicidal tendencies.
You won't
Right.
because they're
What?
switching.
That's a different
between
band, man.
Two lefts and
Another
Beautiful
band, yeah,
Letdown.
that's correct. Okay, so as
so
long
it'll
as I
be-
get a palate cleanser, it's good. But
Yes,
there's just
yes.
something about John Foreman's voice. If I hear more than 2 songs in a row, I just get like this
Ah.
rageful spirit.
TJ
about
Fest may not be for
Helen,
you then.
Yeah,
you know?
just come over to Dad Fest, man.
or kind of worse fest.
or
I'm going to the
or
parking
you know
lot.
what? At this point, Skillet's playing the worst festival ever, so you
Ooh.
can just
They're headlining,
I am
baby.
you can just come hang out. Here's some Skillet, man.
Oh man.
My
I'd
only
rather
argument
do that than
against
comedy, so I'm
Reliant
happy.
Foot as the headliner is I texted Matthew Hoops today and you didn't. So fuck you.
No, they're not the headliner. Mason.
No,
they're the
they're
best
not
live
even the
act.
That's
headliner.
best live
Mason.
act.
We're still on Best Live Act. Oh my
Yes.
god.
Yes.
No, I know.
That's
I know.
the problem.
All right, TJ, headline it. Who's
All right,
headlining
now
your
TJ.
show?
All
What
right,
the
who's
fuck
your
is gonna
headliner?
headline?
It's gonna be fucking like
Who's left?
Amy
Dude,
W.
you-
Smith.
right. You two plus Michael W. Smith plus Chris Tomlin's there. Like I don't.
I love that
like,
y'all are mad at me for creating an entirely hypothetical festival.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Yes.
It's awesome how upset you are.
Welcome
you
to
all
the
are.
whole thing, man.
Good perspective, TJ.
Please be more upset about this entirely made up thing that we're doing.
I am furious. Oh my gosh.
Well,
All right.
listen, we could either get mad about this or about the situation in Palestine. And so,
I am mad about that situation.
right.
I decided to be happy
but-
about this.
right now, like our aggression has to go somewhere.
That's
I
right.
see. Okay,
And
fair
right
enough.
now it's directed at you, TJ. So you
Yeah.
better
Awesome.
start
CJ Fest can
figuring
hold
it out,
all.
or get an iron dome around you.
I've got space for it. You're welcome here. Come be mad.
You're
at
worse
TJ
than
Fest.
Israel, TJ.
Oh my god.
That's a weird thing to say.
TJ, this is why I love you because you are willing to take this role.
Yep. I'm here for it. What I do.
Also, TJ, I don't know you, but I love you because this is fun.
Thanks,
Right?
buddy. Right back at you.
All
TJ,
right,
who's
Mr.
headlining this chaotic fest?
Wait, do I go twice?
Yeah.
We only got
Okay.
7
'Cause
minutes.
we're
Make
circling
it quick.
back around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, to just
He can do it in 7 minutes, I'm sure.
yeah, to bring the ball into the end zone, to get the hat trick with the frisbee disc into the goal line place. The ticket seller headliner for TJ Fest is Sufjan Stevens.
There
and-
you go.
We're going for Chamberfolk Catharsis as we wind down
I know
TJ
who's coming.
Fest. with occasional support on Glockenspiel from Anathello, as well as guest vocals
There it is.
from not only Johnny Greff and Larry Norman, but also, Justin
What?
Vernon. He's here
Justin
featuring
And it's at
He's doing
this
some guest
exact
vocals.
moment that Sufjan decides to unveil to the world that he wrote and finished all 48 other state albums, and he's playing them all in their entirety.
Josh.
I thought you were going to
I
say
knew
that,
it.
he's, that he's going to reveal he's gay. I thought that's what you were going to reveal.
Yeah, all of it. It's all
yeah,
happening
all
at
of
TJ
it.
Fest.
All
Y'all
of
are
it.
all invited. It's gonna be great.
TJ, you know what? I love your festival.
Thanks, man.
I'd
I
buy
love yours
tickets.
too.
Tickets are $5,000.
That's general
You
admission.
can
Right.
TJ Fest is like if Coachella was for the people that like thought Coachella was like
Was
a free
too
festival.
satanic. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it is the festival for Christian juggalos. That's all it is.
You knew it the whole
It's-
time, Cullen.
It's the gathering.
I
You had
called
it
it from
figured
the
out, man.
beginning.
Christians.
Called it from the beginning. I love
Yep.
it.
All right, Cullen, what do you got?
Um,
Who's your headliner?
My headliner. Remember, my theme is once was a Christian band or sort of like that. And of course, I'm going to go with Under Oath.
Motherfucker.
They're just cussing
Poor
up
Kylan.
storms.
I know.
They're getting tattoos all over their bodies.
Lord have
They're
mercy.
dyeing their hair and they're doing cocaine. I think that that's all just terrible. It's terrible.
And that's why they're the headliner.
That's why they're the headliner.
Right.
That's right.
But they're only performing songs from Erase Me.
That's at your festival. You know what's funny is when Erase Me came out, and I only had one tweet about it, and I said, "What do I think about Erase Me?"
Is
Question
this
mark?
Josh's joke?
And then I just posted the song "I Hate It"
That works
from
too.
Erase
That's
Me.
great.
Yep.
Solid.
Jo-
I thought
Josh
it was good.
often has the joke that it's the only album where the title tells you what you can do,
How he feels.
like
After listening,
how you can consume the album.
What you should do with the record afterwards. Yep.
All right. Got Under Oath. Okay.
That's good. Are they focusing on a specific album or something? Or are they just doing anything and
I'm
everything?
personally very partial to Disambiguation, mainly because I love Daniel Davison drumming.
Oh, are you having Daniel there as
that's-
well for some of those songs?
What's that?
Are you having Daniel there as well for some of those songs?
Well, of course. I mean,
bring him
they're
in?
gonna switch off when needed because it is a fantasy land, and
love it.
Or double drum kit? Him
Or
and
double
Aaron
drum
both going to
kit.
town the
Oh,
whole time.
that sounds like a blast. That actually would be pretty cool. But yeah, that's my headliner. Next is Masonic Temple.
All right. Well, I was gonna pick Under Oath, so great pick, Cullen. Fuck you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And I'm gonna pick a band that I think with all the other bands that I have picked fits well with the era, fits well with my theme. And this band is a band that has not played for years, and then all of a sudden in 2021 played their first show in like 15 years or something like that. And this band is Beloved. So I'm gonna pick.
That's a good call, man.
I'm gonna pick
That is.
Beloved as my headliner. Ironically, playing before Zayo, but I think like the Zayo to Beloved back to back. I think people are gonna be super happy about that. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna do with my headliner.
Do they not run into the same issue you raised about Kylan's Hawk Boy, where they kind of just got the one album though, right?
Yeah, but Beloved at least has like an entire album, not
An
just
LP.
like one
They're
EP
gonna play
or
some.
whatever.
They're gonna sprinkle in
Two
some
EPs?
Advent songs in there too. Joe's gonna come.
Here's the
up
deal.
with-
Beloved already
I like
has-
Sassy Josh.
Beloved has clearly played like headlining kind of shows, so I know it's
They can do
possible
it.
for them.
Yeah.
Did
That's
they
true,
ever do
yeah.
that in their
Nice.
prime though?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah,
I don't know if they actually did do that.
yeah, they did do that.
I don't
They
think they
did
do that.
Did do fest is the name of Mason's fest there.
They did Dude Fest.
They did
do
it.
fest.
So
right.
anyway, Beloved.
All
That's
right.
my pick.
Love it.
I love
Close it
that.
out.
You beloved it.
Okay, so all of my deep bench has been just fucking wiped out. So I don't know. I mean, fuck it. Like
Yeah, you have the second pick.
You-
Why
you
you
too.
should have had better.
you two,
better.
you two's the
better
headliner.
roots,
I don't
too.
know,
You
man.
too.
I don't know. And they
Bring the headliner from your worst
sphere.
festival. Yeah. Bring the sphere.
I don't know. They can bring the whole sphere and just do a whole fucking
Kylan,
thing. I don't know.
There's a can I
Who
can
cares?
I, can
It's
I, like,
all made up.
whisper, Can I whisper to you who you should pick? Can I help
no,
you?
no. I don't want you to help me.
Tres, 14.
Yes. Yeah, they can do that. I don't know. Stephen Curtis Chapman, Amy Grant,
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Sure.
She's not a Christian. She had cussing on her new album.
That's right. Which is why U2 is gonna be my headliner. You know what? I'm sticking with it. Here we go.
Stick with it.
Man, they're great.
All right.
Dad Fest.
They are the reason that all
Dad Fest is gonna fucking rock, man.
they are the
I'm
reason
excited.
that worship music sounds like worship music. So
That's
it makes
right.
sense.
That's
They
right.
are.
With
you go.
Coldplay doing auxiliary instruments.
There you go. That's it.
Chris Martin's
Stick
just
the landing,
there
buddy.
playing
call.
some percussion.
All right. Is it Josh now?
Yep.
It is
is me.
It comes
Josh.
down to this.
It is me. So my festival pivoted a little bit, so it seems a little wonky than the way I originally envisioned it. But
Yeah, the Chariot really threw a loop for that.
it
And
did. It had to. Yeah, with Project. Well, I had to tie in with Project here because my ticket seller / headliner, I'm going to pick Starflyer 59.
Ah, there
For
you
the
go.
first time, Jason Martin coming out of retirement.
Okay. I see it.
yeah.
I see it.
He's got
is a good
16
argument.
albums to pull from. So Charlie,
wanna-
his son, is on drums. Stephen Dale is on bass. I was going to have him just stay on the stage from Project Set to Starflyers, but
Ah, I like that.
he
But
will
Just
he'll have
stays
to
on stage.
You know
yeah
what?
he'll just
But-
he'll have to come over quickly from Mason's festival to play to my fest the headline.
Yeah.
You got TW on synth,
And he's gonna
then-
have to go through traffic of all the people trying to go see you too.
Yeah, that's why Jason has a 16-minute instrumental called Traffic Jam that he can wait for Steven to get there.
Oh, that's so good.
So
I
that
love
is,
it.
I actually originally created a whole festival based on Jason Martin bands that would work. So, but I decided to just keep Starflyer as my headliner. So
No,
That's
I want to go to
great.
the festival where Starflyer is the headliner. That makes sense to me.
oh, it'd be
Yeah.
great.
I
Yeah,
would
they
love
haven't
that.
played a show since like 06 or something.
Wait,
Wow.
you don't
People
want to
would come.
see Listener, then Impending Doom, and then you two? Are you
Honestly,
sure?
I'd be okay with that as long as U2 is playing in that big ball thing at
Right. No,
in Las
that's what I'm
Vegas.
saying. They're gonna bring
They
the
brought
whole
that,
dome,
yeah.
the whole the
They're
eyeball.
putting it on wheels, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
The eyeball.
for sure.
Those are our picks for our ideal music festival or show. Should we just quickly review each one of our picks so people remember
Yes,
what we
please.
picked? and
Yes,
who we picked?
Josh.
I
Josh
love
first.
this.
Give us the name of your festival and your bands.
I didn't have a great name. This is just Josh's fest.
Josh
fest for
Fest.
me, you know. I have the wedding. It's my high energy opener. My
I'm here
edgy
for
band.
it.
I went with the Chariot. Best live act went with Norma Jean, and my ticket seller headliner Starflyer 59.
I would go to Josh's Fest.
I
I'll
would
pay
too.
a few $100s
It
for
gets
that.
real heavy in the middle, but then it kind of
I would go to
Other
it
than
as
that,
well,
yeah.
as long as you call it Joshua Tree, only to take
Ooh.
money out of Kylan's pocket.
Right.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Oh my god. I would love if I saw U2 was playing in my town and then there was another show just across the street called the Joshua Tree
That didn't have you
that
two.
didn't have U2. I would 100% pay just as much money to go see that.
All right,
right,
Kylan,
Kylan.
let's hear your lineup.
Okay.
And your
I
name
had-
and the name of your fest.
Well, when I wrote my note, I wrote Kylan's awesome Christian music festival because I'm not super creative.
love it. Did you write it with a crayon?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Okay, I had Listener, Well, okay, now I can't remember because everyone
Pending Doom was your edgy, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, listener, impending
Impending
doom,
doom.
and you
Hawk
too,
Boy.
and
Hawk
Hawk
Boy.
Boy,
Hawk Boy.
and you too. That is
That's a wild fest.
Honestly, I fucking love that. And I'm going
right.
to.
Yeah.
Like it's
I'd
kind of
go with
fun,
that.
right?
Yes.
Like you get a little for the dads.
Mm-hmm.
You
A
also
little
have
for the
impe-
people that like only know like music that's not even on Spotify.
right?
Right.
And then you have impending doom, and then I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Yeah, you know what? That's a perfect night. That's a perfect fucking Friday night.
I have
kind
the
of- it
perfect
kind of
outfit
is.
for that festival, you know?
Yeah.
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 Not too
What
bad,
do you
not too bad.
wear to that? That's a good question. All right, Mason, name and your bands.
Well, I'm gonna go with my bands first. So my bands are my high energy band, The Undertaking, my edgy band, Project 86, my best live act, Zayo, and my headliner is Beloved. And
See,
so
that's the
think
most
of these bands.
cohesive.
Right. They're okay.
Yeah.
So it's all solid state bands. If you have not been
Mhm.
able to tell, they're all solid state bands. And the name of my festival Furnace Fest 2024 is the last Furnace Fest. This festival is called Furnace Fest 2025.
Oh,
That's it.
that's perfect. That's perfect.
Nailed
smart.
it.
That's smart. All right.
Excellent.
Mine is it's named Star, Borat's voice, Star, not a Christian. And that's literally the name of the fest. My high energy opener is Family Force 5. My edgy band is As I Lay Dying / Austrian Death Machine.
I imagine going
debuting
from
their new album.
For Family Force 5 to As I Lay Dying.
That's
Then
crazy.
it goes Best Live Act is Mute Math,
Right.
followed by the headliner of Under Oath. Those cussing young men. All right,
Cussing young men.
TJ.
Yes. Rounding the bend here. TJ Fest, a metaphysical journey.
Motherfucker.
A multi-sensory
And-
experience.
Yes, a multi-sensory experience and the bell of the ball because I got all the bands that y'all were envying and I'm so sorry. My high energy band is As Cities Burn with indulgent features. The edgy band was Me Without You with indulgent features. Best live act was Reliant Foot with indulgent features. And the headliner was Sufjan Stevens with indulgent
I
features.
love that we just let you keep both Rolanke and Switchfoot at that point. We're like,
Yeah,
we're not
I
going to
know, we're
argue
like,
it. You
oh,
can
yeah.
have two.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
fine. I just
Yes,
pivoted
thank
to you two. I was like, I can't have Switchfoot. All right. Well,
I love that you
should have
think that the
gone-
fans of all of these bands have enough money to pay for this festival.
right.
well,
Kylan,
the whole
Kylan,
thing-
I have a better headliner for you.
Okay.
Yeah,
than
me
you
too.
two.
Who?
Okay, it's Katy Perry, but she's only playing Katie Hudson songs.
Oh, that's
whoa,
it.
that is
That's it.
winner.
That's my
Does
headliner.
she, does she have like the,
Yes.
Wow,
the
great job,
sparklers on her
Josh.
titties though?
Oh, for sure.
I
for
mean,
sure.
she has to.
As
Yeah.
Katie Hudson.
Here I
Katie
was.
Hudson.
Here I was thinking
Wearing, like,
He Is
a fucking,
Legend would have
like,
been a better
whipped
choice for
cream
Kylan.
dress.
But
Look,
Oh,
She's
dude.
got the
No,
cherries.
that's it. That is
Wow.
Well, guys, thank you so much for having us on your show. And we're gonna post this
and
on ours,
you
too.
because you guys are going to post this as well, right? It
Hell
only
yeah,
makes
dude.
sense.
Hell yeah.
So
I
thank
almost forgot
you
that
for
this-
having
this
us on
is-
your show.
Oh yeah. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to Church James Now, the podcast where three former youth group kids and current music nerds deep dive into Christian music from the 90s and 2000s. The end.
Thank you for joining Black Sheep Podcast for those who wander.